many young people come to purchase the Steinway, or are they primarily older people?
What is encouraging over the last 5 to 10 years is that we are seeing a resurgence in the family understanding how important music is as an educational tool. There seemed to be a period of time where musical education was not as important in this country as it once was. And I think we've all gone through cycles. Every country has. Europe has. I mean, now China's going through the renaissance for musical education. The joke on the street is if you see a child on the street, he's not carrying a violin, he's taking piano lessons. And I think that every parenting magazine, every study that's ever been done shows music builds neural pathways in your brain, and it provides poise, self-confidence, you're learning another language, you're being expressive, and it helps you learn other things. Why is it that roughly 20% of our purchasers of Steinway grand pianos are physicians? Now one might say, well, they're physicians and they earn a lot of money, therefore they can afford the best. The actual fact is their experience with a piano far predated their medical school. And there is definitely, in my opinion, a cause and effect for smart people, intellectual people, inquisitive people, because it teaches such discipline. If anyone learns a Mozart sonata, you are learning certain key attributes that can help you do many things in your life. As an example, when I moved back here from London, I don't have an MBA, I have a music degree. And I was interviewed on the radio by a business reporter in almost a condescending manner. He says, you know, don't you think that you would have been much better prepared to run a company of this nature if you had a business degree, or if you had even an engineering degree, but you have a music degree? And the way he said music, it was sort of less than those other two. And you know, I thought about it for just an instant, and I said, well, let me tell you about my experience. I said, I cannot tell you if an MBA or an engineering degree would help me more, because I don't have those. But when you study music, like a Beethoven sonata, for example, I'm learning about form and structure, and what is a company but structure. If you've ever studied a Bach fugue, you will know what multitasking is. I think music and the pursuit of playing the piano and understanding great musical works of art has prepared anyone to run virtually any company. And they have this one ability that many people lack today, is to bring something from the beginning, stick with it until the end.
I've had a similar experience. I had the music and the performance background. I got interested in new performance concepts, integrated computer animation in my live performance. Having that background, I got snapped up to do multimedia when the multimedia boom happened in Singapore. And because I understood where it came from, the appreciation of the entire construct, they got me to do marketing.
Certain great literature, whether it be written literature, whether it be the great works of art from the wonderful master painters, or whether it be works of Beethoven and Chopin, they always will endure. I find it interesting because I think there's a distinction between art and art that reflects, you know, modern fads or culture. I mean, the Beatles became popular, what, 40 years ago? 40, 50, almost 50 years ago. You're still hearing it consistently. I have heard so much music that was extremely popular for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and I never ever hear it again. Really good art will always endure, and really good music will always endure. Now, will the piano become an extension of a reflection of current modern culture in 10, 20, 50 years? It will, as it always has been.
I brought up the Chinese cuisine. That requires hardwood that has been seasoned for 100 years. I know you're probably asking me, well, the person that put the wood out to season, probably not going to be there anymore.
First of all, early in our experiments with pianos back in the 1850s, they experimented with many, many different types of woods. Wood represents about 85% of the content of a grand piano. So the selection of that property is extremely important. There is approximately 20 tons of tension exerted on a grand piano, 40,000 pounds. It is quite simply a bomb that could explode. One is the rim or the shape of the piano, and the other is the cast iron plate, which was an enormous innovation that Steinway developed, because up until the cast iron plate, you could not put that much tension on a piano. The selection of wood for the rim is so critically important. It is hard rock northern maple. I encourage you and your readers and listeners to go into the dictionary and look up the word maple. So it is extremely important because it holds this 20 tons of tension in check. Everyone always romantically looks at the soundboard of the piano as the heart and the soul. It is made out of spruce. And the reason that we have it is because a soundboard in the piano is what we call crowned. It's kind of bowed. It's under tension like a drum head. This spruce has enough tensile strength to allow us to bow it, yet is light enough that it vibrates.
My theremin is a Moog design. They used maple as well. It's very hardy. It withstands any temperature.
Yes. The most important message that all of us at Steinway & Sons would like to give to your readers and your listeners is that music is so important to a civilization. In fact, it is to a large degree what civilizes us. That making music and listening to music is one of the most noble and beneficial experiences that you can give any child or any adult. If you've taken piano lessons when you were a child and you've raised your family and you forgot about that part of your life, go back to it.
You know, he just gave me a word, and the word is graciousness. It's great talking to you.
It's been a great pleasure.